everyone and happy Monday. Now we have this interesting picture to do for our first February planner. We have, you know, a leafy top, lanterns and ivy in the boat. Now this is from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, and in the book there are words here, but they've been edited out to leave a big blank space. I've got no idea what I'm going to do with this. I've grabbed my Polychromos pencils because there's a lot of little details to do, and we're going to start at the top. Now we've got all this leafiness to deal with. Now what we could do is we could splodge some pastel across there first as a background and then colour some detail in, but I think I'm going to use some pencil. I'm going to grab one of my faves. I think I'm going to grab the May Green, and I'm just going to start colouring all their leaves in this green as a base. I'm not worrying too much about intensity or neatness at this point. I'm just getting some colour down. If you prefer to do this in a soft pastel, you could, but I was just thinking that this end is quite difficult. This end be easy because they're quite clustered together. But at this end, there's lots of little ones, so I think it's not going to be quite so easy. I can hear a dripping noise in here. It always is disconcerting when you can hear dripping, but it is raining, so I am assuming that what I can hear dripping is the rain outside. But it does sound like it's inside. It sounds like it's in the ceiling. But hey ho, it's really cold as well. Considering it's raining, I thought it might have been warmer. My feet are quite chilly. I'm going out later too. I'm going to get wet, but you know, it does us good. I found this fascinating bit of information yesterday that research shows that if women do 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, so that would be just walking, it reduces their risk of breast cancer by 50 to 60%. I had absolutely no idea that there was a link between exercise and illness in that disease, in that type of way. I realised that there was a link with heart health, but I didn't know it expanded to other types of illness as well. So that got me thinking I need some motivation to get me exercising more now, or walking more. Now that was absolutely it. I was like, wow. Now 150 minutes is not really that long. I was thinking about it. It takes, if I go to town from here, it takes me 15-20 minutes to get to town. I usually out for about an hour. I'm walking the whole time. If I go to the supermarket, I'm not out for quite as long. Maybe half an hour at most. But still, if I do that 5 days a week, I'm well over the amount. I'm thinking 150 minutes. What is that? That's 61:20. Is that 2.5 hours? My maths. It's not long, is it? That's like 5 walks to the supermarket, or 2.5 walks into town for me. It's not bad, is it? It's not. It doesn't. So I don't have to go out every day, even. But it means like sort of 4 or 5 days a week, and I'm done. And I was like, wow. And so that was good. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do a bit of that. It doesn't feel unachievable for me. I know it's not going to be achievable for everybody, but for me, I'm like, yep, it's time that constricts me rather than mobility. I'm perfectly capable. I could probably walk all day long and be fine. I'm very lucky. I realise that. Right. What I'm going to do with these is, some of these have like outlines. Yeah. I think I'm going to leave the outlines light in the May and do the insides a bit darker. I was going to do the other way around. I just changed my mind. So I'm going to grab the permanent green olive, and I'm going to do the insides of the leaves that have got outlines in this. Excuse me. So hiccup. So inside the line, a nice dark intense layer, and then a bit lighter maybe towards the middle. I realise I've missed that one. I'll get there. So yeah, I realise I am speeding along today because it's all the same. So there's not much to slow down and show you really. But yes, I'm going to be going out in the rain. But my son's meds have come in, and he wants me to go with him to get them. I'm quite happy to walk with him. Do me good, you know, because people always, my sister, my mum was going, why don't you make them go out on their own? I'm like, well, they do go out on their own when they're going to uni and stuff, you know, it's fine, they can do it. But I could do with the exercise, you know, it's good for me to go out with them. So that's what I do. I really missed the school run, you know. I was one of the last parents to let my kids do the school run on their own. And it wasn't because I didn't trust them, I absolutely did. I knew they could do it fine. But I used to want to do it because I knew it was good for me. Do you know what I mean? And but a lot of parents, you know, they did it in the car, and they still always did it in the car, you know, because their kids wouldn't walk. But mine, we always walked. I don't like driving, and I didn't have a car anyway. And it's good for us. I mean, it was like, what was it, 50? Well, I did actually, the school was up the hill, to be fair, so it would take us 15-20 minutes to get there, and then it would take me 10-15 minutes to get home. And it wasn't just because I was faster, you know, when they were, as they got older, they got faster, but coming down the hill was much quicker. And I guess coming home was probably quicker. I'm going to leave these that haven't got an outline. I might do something different with those. So yes, it was so good, and of course twice a day as well. I used to get so much exercise, but even I still didn't even do 10,000 steps though, to there and back. It didn't, unless I went into town as well. But now I'm realising that 10,000 steps is just an arbitrary number, and it isn't that important. So that's good. It's, you know, it's good to have a goal, but it doesn't have to be that. I can leave that one and that one as well. They don't seem to have, unless that is, I think about that one while I do this one. Yeah, so I'm excited by the fact that I've got that information in my head that's going to push me to do more exercise, because I know, like walking, because I know it really makes me feel better. I like feeling fitter and more energetic. If I don't walk for a while, when I do go out, I feel sluggish. And I also feel it's good for my mental health to go out, and, you know, whether I'm walking in the main streets and nosing at the houses, or walking along the canal path and looking at the wildlife, either way, it's good for, you know, it makes me feel good. And I often see people that I know, or just say hello to people, things like that. So it's really good. So it's just, oh, I'm just going to sharpen up for these. It's a bit small. It's just very encouraging. Sorry, my book, it's so wonky. There we go. Now I realise some of you aren't going to like the olive greens. Now I love olive greens, but I know they might just seem a bit dull for some people. If that's the case for you, just use a different colour. It doesn't matter what colour green you're using here. Just, you know, you can use your light green and your grass green, well, leaf green, light green together maybe, or if you prefer the bluey greens, you could use a phthalo green with a dark phthalo green. You know, there are lots of different possibilities. It's just a light and a dark, so it doesn't have to be this particular combination if you prefer to use something else. I think I'm going to assume that is an edge, and that is, but I suspect in the proper book that it's probably, maybe there's a bit more, maybe it's a bit more obvious, I don't know. But anyway, all is good. Yeah, we've got storm coming. We seem to have a lot of storms. I guess it's winter. And they didn't used to call it storms when I was little. It was just I was going to get some rain and some wind. And I didn't even take that much notice. Of course, when you're young, you don't watch the weather. You only care if it snows. Well, maybe that's just me. But it does look like it could be quite nasty in Ireland. But by the time it gets to us, well, it's not going to be quite so bad. It's the weather that's, sorry, just got to wipe my nose. The weather that's been in the USA causing it to be so cold and snowy. It's here. It's apparently, what was I reading? I think it's gonna meet our warm jet stream coming across the channel. So it's gonna warm up a bit, but it's gonna turn into wind and rain instead of snow. I'm sad. I want snow. Boo-hoo. But actually, everyone needs to be out next week, so it's probably better not to have snow. I mean, rain is not nice, obviously, absolutely soaked, it's cold, it's horrible, and the wind can be dangerous, obviously, but snow is really dangerous for driving, and trains get cancelled and everything else. It would be a real pain, so it's probably better that it's rain, really, in all practical sense, but, you know, it always just feels so relaxing, so magical when it snows. I just love watching it fall. It's so relaxing. Maybe I need to move to Scandinavia. I don't know. Just sit and watch snow all day. That'd be relaxing. Yeah, that'll be my next video. Video of just snow falling. Be good, wouldn't it? No, maybe not. Make you feel quite cold. Should we talk about something warmer? Yeah, I miss this one. Yeah, it's we're quite lucky. Our houses are built reasonably well for weather. I think it could be better. Ours isn't particularly well insulated. There are drafts and things. I was reading about air source heat pump, because, you know, we're all being encouraged to think about installing them. But if your house is drafty or badly insulated, apparently not very good, so that rules us out. But apparently you don't get pockets of hot and cold in your house like you do with a normal heating system. You just get a sort of constant heat throughout, which would be nice, because we definitely get pockets of hot and cold. You know, the ground floor is always much colder, and there are little drafty spots in different bits of the house. But I find it hard to imagine how it could just eliminate those, because they're caused by gaps in our brickwork. I'm trying to address it. One of them is caused by a gap by the electric meter. There's not much I can do about that. But I've tried to insulate it better, but you can't put lots of insulation around it because of the fire risk. So it's not good. But anyway, and the other draft is caused by little holes that I need to fill up, but I haven't done it yet because it's raining and you can't apply filler, well, mortar in the rain or in the cold. It's been too cold as well. This is a little leaf again. I need to sharpen up again. But anyway, all is pretty. Where I sit, I don't feel the draft too much because I put my feet under my desk and it blocks it. Because my desk has a solid sides where it's got drawers, so it keeps my feet warm, which is nice. Alright, so it's February, isn't it? I'm just looking. February the 3rd. it's actually not February. Holding this is still January. Actually, I've just seen something very exciting, that the new planner is already on Amazon. It's February. It's January, in fact. It's not available to buy, only pre-order, but it's there. They've got the cover and everything finalised. But was very odd was that it's available from Amazon in Amazon.com, the US Amazon. The release date is June, and Amazon.co.uk, the release date is August. Now, what I found last year was that I ordered it from the Amazon.com because the year before, the UK one kept slipping the date back and back, and it never became available, which was a bit rubbish. So I just decided it was easier just to order it from America. I think they're printed in America these days. I don't think there's really a UK edition. I think the dates in it are go across both countries. There's a New Zealand date actually there. So there's a few different dates. So I think they've tried to make it appeal to English speaking countries, but I think that I don't know if it's available in Australia. I'm not an affiliate for Australian Amazon, so I tend not to share the links for that. Yeah, they didn't want me. Boo-hoo. They didn't like me. It said I didn't sell enough, so they didn't want me to be an affiliate anymore, which is a little bit odd, because surely they benefit if I don't sell much, because they don't have to pay me much. But anyway, it's a bit strange. But anyway, never mind. So it might be, I don't know whether it's available in Australia. I'm sure it probably is, and New Zealand, of course. Right. I'm just looking at this leaf here, what that line is. I'm wondering if that's a border. I'm just going to colour in this bit. Like that. You know, I've never done it with lighter edges. Quite like it. Now, the ones that have like stems or markings, I'm going to do those in this colour, the chromium green opaque. So I'm going to do like this piece here and this piece here. Have we got any other bits and pieces? No, I'm going to leave that one pale. Leave that one. I think that's it. I'm tempted to do this branch. I could do it an olive green yellowish, so it's not too brown. I think that's what I'm going to do. So here's our olive green yellowish. Sorry. And I'm just going to do the branch. I'm still going to fade it into the leaves a bit if I can, just a tad. I'm just blocking it in. Probably because the reason is because my pencil isn't very sharp. And sharpen it. Here we go. So I'm going to make it a little bit darker along the bottom. Sort of fade it up a little bit. Maybe a tad along the top as well. There we go. And now we've got this sort of bit that these are hanging off. It's like a vine, isn't it? I'm going to make that quite dark. I'm going to go for this. This is the chrome oxide green. I'm going to just make those this colour. You don't have to make them green, of course. I'm thinking it's like some sort of vine. I've gone out the line, so I'm just trying to hide it by pretending the line was thicker. Of course, you could do it like a ribbon or a string in any old colour. Oh, don't start singing. I do like a sing song, but not on camera. It's not that I'm shy, it's that, well, I am, but it's a copyright. Get copyright striked if there's music that is unauthorized. Right, for the leaf edges, leaf edges, I'm going to put a bit of this on top of them. This is cadmium yellow lemon. I want them to stand out, just these edge bits, not the veins, not the other bits that are in that colour, just the edges of their leaves. I also think a bit of yellow. Yellow isn't my favourite colour to colour with and blend and that sort of thing, but popping a bit on top can make it just look bright and shiny. Not shiny, well, vibrant. I think that's the word I'm looking for. So I think it's a rather nice addition. Now the colour that I used underneath, the May green, is not very even, and I don't mind, because I think that leaf colours are not particularly even, so it's okay to look a bit splotchy. Oh, I've just found a stem bit there. Was that olive green yellowish? No, that was no, it was chromium green opaque, I think. Memory. Maybe there. I don't know. Right, back to our lemon, cadmium yellow lemon. Okay, I've just recorded my completed pages actually, and I was saying how I always try and do a Polychromos picture each month, particularly for my friend Mary, who loves her Polychromos and always follows the colour alongs for the planner. So it makes it easy for her. She doesn't have to look up the equivalent colours, but I do tend to vary it a bit because I know that people have different pencils, and also it's nice to see different pencils sometimes, I think, if you haven't got them, just to see what they look like, how they go down, what sort of colours they have in the set and that sort of thing, so that you can decide if there's something that you are interested in or not. So I think that's good. But I did used to tend to only use Staedtler and Polychromos pencils and only do Johanna videos, but you know, I've got more equipment, I'm lucky, and more books, small pencils, etc., so I can showcase different things. This is the May Green again. I'm going to try and make some of these look a little bit more exciting by just going over them a bit like that and fading them up. I don't know why I'm thinking the tip should be darker, but that's what I'm doing. You can do it the other way if you want. I feel that this is a lovely colour, but if it's put down a bit lightly, it can look a bit meh. So you can just darken it a little bit. Do a little bit on this one as well. And this one. There we go. Now if you want to, you can get some darker colour and put it between all the leaves so they look more three-dimensional. So putting shadow under here and here will make them look like they're not, will make them look more like they're not in a big heap and that they're slightly in front of each other. But to be honest, I'm happy with it like this, in a heap, because I think that it's like a border. But we have got our lamps to do, our hanging lanterns, which apparently I pronounced wrongly. I know there's no there's only one R in lantern, it's just my regional accent. or I just say it wrong, who knows. So we've got these three. Now I'd quite like to do them so they match, so they look similar. I'm thinking of a grey, like a sort of silvery look, so that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to use my cold grey 3. If I keep it still you might be able to see what it is. Now I'm not doing the beaded bits yet. I'm going to decide whether I want them to be colour or plain. I'm just going to use my grey and just work across. So for this hat hook I'm thinking darker here and fade to the side like that. Now I'm not sure if that's really dark enough to see. Should come in a bit closer for you guys. I can't really come in that much closer. A little bit. I want both in shot. I assume in the actual picture we can see the whole of this one, I don't know. So if you go quite intensely on the edge and then reduce to the centre and then have a little line of nothing, it can give the impression of shine. Like that. Now this is quite impressive with the silver pencil. We do have a silver one I could have used, but I'm not. I don't know, I didn't think of it until I just said it then. So you could use silver. There we go. I'm just doing the same thing on all of the sections. Now we do need to think about whether these lamps are on or off. Is it daytime? Is it night time? I'm going to block this bit in, I think. I want it to sort of stand out. I think it's probably daytime. I'm trying to remember the story. They wouldn't be travelling at night in their little boat, I don't think. I'm going to make this bit silver. So I'm pretty sure that it was the daytime. And I think it'll be a lot easier for us if it is, with regards to a background. And yes, I have decided there'll be a bit of something, but it'll probably, well, it will be with the soft pastel. I'm not colouring all that in pencil. I don't know what this bit is, but I'm just pretending it's like a little sort of holder bit, holding the glass bit in place. Like that. And then the one over here, so I'm keeping it all the same colour. You could use different shades of grey if you wanted to them to look slightly different from each other. You could even use different colours. You could use black, or you could use even sort of as if they're painted, blues. I would use dark colours. I don't know why. I just would. I'm going to just block that bit in. Yeah, I think I'd use some dark colours, and then the light would show up if you're going to be colouring light in the space. I'm trying to think what I'm going to do with the glass. I think I'm just going to do this. Cold grey 5. There we go. Sorry, silent concentration. There, so it just looks like it's shiny. That's fine for me. Now we have this chain. I don't really want it to stand out massively, so I think I'm just going to grab a green and do it in green. I think I'm going to use the hooker's green because it's not too... Is this the hooker's green? No, I've grabbed the wrong colour. It's always good, isn't it? Oh, I thought it was the wrong colour. Yeah, I'm going to use the hookers. It's a darker green, so maybe a bit more like the vine, but not too dark. Here it is, hooker's green. And what you can do if you want is make them look like gemstones by putting a bit of white. I'm actually just going to block them in quite... I'm sharpen it. It's so small. I'm just going to sharpen it a bit more. Ugh, my eye's going funny. It's so dark in here and the light is so bright. I actually spoke to an optician about that yesterday. Well, he was one of the guys that books the appointments and things, but they're trained, slightly trained, should we say, semi-trained. They're not trained optometrists, but they have some training. He said he didn't think it was anything to worry about. It probably was just because the light. Our eyes work better when it's bright light, and but when the weather gets better and it gets lighter and we have lighter days, it should improve. But if it doesn't improve it by March, because of the days getting longer, then go in, get an appointment. But my next checkup isn't until November. But he didn't think it sounded like anything serious, and I trust them because I've been in before with conditions, and they've told me I've had to get emergency appointments. Fortunately all was fine, but it was like, you need that checked out. Right, we've had 30 minutes, and what I'm thinking is I will leave that, excuse the pun, for today. There is what we've done, and we can come back tomorrow and do the rest, do the water. I think I've done a video for this bit of water, I think, before. But it doesn't matter, we should do it again, and the little boat, and that there's quite a lot of detail going on here, but that would be nice. And then I will do my little background idea. We'll see if it works. I think it will. But have a lovely Monday. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll pop back tomorrow to finish it with me, or watch me finish it, whatever works for you. But yes, thank you for watching, and happy colouring.